Hello and welcome to Think About It Thursday. I have some questions. I've always had some questions about the good old NASA. And the reason why I have questions about this particular group is because there's just so many things I don't understand. I have also heard that name in Hebrew means the Great Deception. Also, so if we apparently went to the moon back in the 60s, why haven't we ever gone back? It's said that there is more technology in our cell phones than there was in the first space shuttle that went to the moon. Also, I have heard that it was a group that at first explored the ocean, and then it switched to space. I mean, what even is space? The fact that they call it space means they don't know what they're talking about because this room is a space. Space is everywhere. If you think about it, it's like a play on words. It's like by them calling it that, it's just telling us that they have no idea what they're talking about, in my opinion. Because it makes absolutely no sense, quite honestly. Perfect shirt for it today. It's all a pantomime. Look through the veil or the firmament. I just really wonder if we ever actually have gone past the firmament at this point. I wonder if that's ever actually been explored. Because when talking about NASA, not saying it on purpose, just in case, it's one of those words that YouTube doesn't like, who knows? But when talking about it, you kind of have to get into the whole like round earth, flat earth theory. Like, why in the world is it so heavily pushed on us that the earth is round? Why is that so important for us to know? Why? And I mean, a lot of these things I really don't have answers for because, again, but it's something that nobody really knows at this point. People have arguments for flat earth all day long. People have arguments for round earth all day long. I personally feel like it's more so of a donut shape. Donut earth is my theory, and this is my own theory that I never heard anyone talk about. And it pretty much goes like, so essentially when Lucifer shifted dimensions, fell out of heaven, was kicked out of heaven, it caused a polarity shift in the earth. And I feel like he literally fell and it like tore a hole or like created this hole in the middle of earth. I don't know if that makes any sense, but when you start getting into lizard people, we'll call them, and whatnot, I believe that was Lucifer's race, or is Lucifer's race of beings. And they live underground and do all kinds of crazy things and are pretty much the ones responsible for all of the chaos and destruction and awfulness that happens in this world. That's kind of what I believe. This is a little bit more out there than things I usually talk about, but hey, why not? So yeah, I believe that we have gone through a few different transformations, like the earth has, over its time of eternity. And I think it has possibly changed shapes over the course of time, because it just doesn't make sense. I mean, I've this amazing teacher that I have listened to for years talks about how, back in like Adam and Eve time, or like biblical times, we can't say that the earth was how we see the earth right now. We can't say that because we don't know. It probably looked completely different. And that makes way more sense to me than believing that it is exactly how it is right now in the sense of like landscape and whatnot. I also kind of believe that we have gone backwards in the evolution of technology. Like back in the ancient Egyptian times, they understood things much more than we do, that we are just now relearning today. And this whole idea of like coming from a caveman and progressing until now, and we are so advanced. I think we're in the dark ages, quite honestly. But yeah, even back in that time, there was, you know, giants. I mean, have you heard the concept of the mountains are trees? There's plenty of evidence that shows that there were these ginormous trees that we call mountains now. There's even, you know, petrified stone. There's things that look like human faces or the shape of a human body laying down that we call mountains that might not be. Because I think the whole ecosystem and everything was completely different back then. And we've gotten so far from who we originally were as beings. Like, we could have even shrunk at this point. Like, the reason why we're, you know, no taller than like the max 7 foot. Some people are crazy 7 foot tall. But the fact that we're not even higher than that, like not even any bigger than that, to me, just seems a little off. I'm just very highly suspicious of it, quite honestly. And there could be so many different directions that you could take this. But my real question is, why the heck is it so important that we believe the earth is round? Or why the heck is it so important that we believe that we are so tiny and almost irrelevant in the universe? It's almost like they're doing that on purpose, you know? Because if you go through like the feed of like how big the other planets are compared to us, you know, eventually the Earth disappears. Like Saturn looks, you know, like a watermelon compared to a grape that the Earth is, if you look at it on the scale that they tell us to look at. And I don't buy it for 1 second. Not at all. It's one of those huge rabbit trails that gets my imagination going, quite honestly. And I'm happy to explore those ideas, but it's one of those things. I would love to know the answers. I would absolutely love to know the answers. I do believe that there's a firmament, no matter if there's a donut Earth or even a flat Earth or, you know, a round Earth, whatever shape it is. I do believe there's a firmament, and I do believe that there are places in this Earth that we're not allowed to be on as the normal population, as a normal person. I think there's plenty of more places to go and continents and whatnot that they're keeping from us, because they probably have lots of really cool ancient technology that they don't want us to know about, because it would reveal who we really are and, you know, mess up their whole game. So anyways, I'd love to know your thoughts. Try not to say NASA in the comments. You could just say the space program, quite honestly. Because who knows if that triggers the algorithm. But I'd love to know your ideas, because I know so many people have so many different opinions about this one topic. But it was on my list. So, yeah. I hope you guys have a great day, and start thinking about some things that are kind of hard to think about, because that's most of my life, quite honestly. Anyways, bye.